Ravan, the Untold Saga. There was a king, feared and respected, who ruled in the golden land of Lanka, where secrets were whispered to the shore by the sea and legends witnessed by the skies. Ravan. He was a scholar, a warrior, a ruler, and a devotee, whose name ran through eternity as the greatest power and wisest man. But there was more to his story than the one-sided telling that history had etched. His story was also one of ambition, love, and fate. The birth of a demon king. Conceived by the sage Vishrava and the Dutya princess Kaksi, Ravan's birth was a blend of ascetic knowledge and demon power. Right from the beginning, his intellect burned like a divine star, superior to that of his contemporaries. His hunger for knowledge saw him excel in the Vedas and Shastras, leaving even the most renowned sages of his era behind. With the boon of 10 heads, he could converse, debate, and meditate simultaneously, an unparalleled feat in all of creation. But his journey was never destined to be normal. He craved power over knowledge, performing harsh penances to appease Lord Brahma. When the Creator God came before him, Ravan asked for immortality. Though refused, he was given great boons, invincibility against gods and celestial beings, unimaginable strength, and a life that would last across ages. The rise of Lanka's emperor. Lanka, the Golden Kingdom, shone under Ravan's reign. His rule was strong but equitable. He maintained prosperity, peace, and splendor unknown to other kingdoms. His people loved him. Lanka prospered into the epitome of riches and wisdom under his reign. But power brings about ambition. Ravan's triumphs had no end as he defeated celestial entities one by one and took control of the 3 worlds. His arrogance grew high, and he felt no one could oppose his power. The gods themselves shook with fear at his name. But destiny, the great leveler, had something else in mind. The test of devotion and arrogance. Though proud, Ravan was a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva. His penance to Mahadev was the stuff of legend, amputating his own heads one after another to please the gods. Shiva, touched by his faith, restored them and gave him the Chandrahas, a divine sword of immense power. But Ravan's ego was never satiated. He once tried to raise Mount Kailash, Shiva's dwelling place, to demonstrate his superiority. The great god, with the simple pressure of his toe, crushed Ravan under it. For days, the king of Lanka was pinned, his pride destroyed. He learned then that real power is not in winning, but in submission to the divine. He sang the Shiva Tandava Stotram, a song so powerful that it echoed across the universe. Content, Shiva pardoned him, but the lesson had to be learned: nobody is immortal. The abduction that shaped destiny. Ravan's destiny took a turn for the worse when he met Shurpankha, his sister, whose disfigurement by Lakshman inflamed his heart with fury. With the motive to take revenge, he devised a plan that would alter history. He would kidnap Sita, the bride of Lord Ram. With the assistance of illusion and deception, he enticed Sita from the security of her forest dwelling. However, he did not so much as lay a hand on her, keeping to the dharma that did not permit him to touch a woman against her will. Rather, he took her captive within the Ashok Vatika, with the hope of enticing her affections through coaxing instead of force. Little did he realize that this act would be his undoing. Ram, the very personification of dharma, fought a war that would shake Lanka to its core. The Great War and the End of Ravan. The fight between Ravan and Ram was a struggle of principles, ego versus dharma. Ravan, all the while talented and clever, was blinded by his own belief in superiority. His soldiers were killed, his generals died, and his beloved brother, Kumbhakarna died as well. Even Indrajit, his son, and the finest warrior in Lanka, could not change the course of events. While Ravan stood alone, he battled Ram in a thundering duel across the skies. Every arrow that Ram fired landed with the will of God, while Ravan warred with a blaze that would not be extinguished. Yet in the end, fate captured him. With a Brahmastra shot for the last time, Ram put an end to Ravan's rule, not out of hatred but respect. While Ravan was dying, he gave his final lessons to Lakshman: politics, life, and how power is fleeting. The legacy of Ravan. Although he fell, Ravan was never just a villain. He was a scholar, a devotee, a king who aspired to the stars, and a man who fell victim to his own pride. His tale was one of brilliance and folly, of devotion and devastation, of power and redemption. Even now, when effigies are set on fire in commemoration of the triumph of Ram, the legend of Ravan continues to endure not as a simple demon king, but as a reminder that wisdom without humility is a recipe for disaster, and power without righteousness is only an illusion. And so the story of Ravan, the ten-headed king, came to an end, but it was more than a conclusion, it was a lesson for all eternity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed our work, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.